So do you guys remember how Argentina had a lot of leagues? Well, Belgium kind of does too.
Footy leagues around the world. Footy leagues, heck yeah.
Hey everyone, it's your host Ryan. Yes, Belgium is no joke when it comes to football. As a matter of fact, they have 9 tiers in their football pyramid. At the top of the pyramid is the Belgian First Division A, known today as the Jupiler Pro League after sponsor Jupiler Beer, a Belgian beer now brewed by Anheuser-Busch. That league has 16 teams. Next is the Belgian First Division B, officially known as the Proximus League, which has 8 teams. Both of these top tiers consist of professional teams. Third on the pyramid is the Belgian First Amateur Division, which has 18 teams. Contrary to its name, the league is made up of all semi-pro and pro teams. At the 4th tier is where things get a little tricky. Officially called the Belgian Second Amateur Division, the division is made up of 3 leagues, A, B, and C, which are divided based on the region and the dominant language spoken there. For those of you that don't know, Belgium has 3 official languages, Dutch, German, and French, and the country is divided into 3 main regions. The Flanders region to the north is where the Flemish people are, and where they speak Flemish or Dutch. The Brussels capital region is where you can find a little bit of everything, and finally the Walloon region in the south is where they dominantly speak French. Leagues A and B are made up of teams from the Flanders and the Brussels region, while League C is made up of teams from the Walloon region. Each of these leagues has 16 teams. In the 5th tier is the Belgian Third Amateur Division, made up of 4 leagues, 2 in the Flanders and capital regions and 2 in the Walloon region. Split into A, B, C, and D, each of these leagues has 16 teams. At this point, all of these teams are still semi-pro. Then there are tiers 6 through 9, also known as the Belgian Provincial Leagues. There are 4 levels to these provincial leagues, in which there is at least 1 league for each of the 10 provinces in Belgium. These leagues are made up of between 14 and 18 teams. As you go down the provincial leagues, the number of leagues or series per province increases. So while the Antwerpen League in the 1st level has only 1 league and 16 teams, the Antwerpen province in the 4th level has 5 leagues and 82 teams. At this provincial level, all teams are amateur. In total, there are 46 official leagues in Belgium and over 1,900 recognized teams. Back up at the top of the Jupiler, things work like this. Every regular season lasts from July to March, with each team playing 30 games. After the regular season, the last place team is automatically relegated, while the top 6 teams are placed in a championship playoff, while teams in 7th through 15th are joined by the top 3 teams in the First Division B, split up into 2 groups of 6, and enter a Europa League playoff. In all of these playoff series, each team plays 10 games. In the championship playoffs, a team's total points from the regular season are slashed in half before they enter. In the Europa League playoffs, teams start from scratch. The winner of the championship playoff is of course the winner of the league and makes it to the group stage of the Champions League. The 2nd place team makes it to the Champions League 3rd round. Teams 3 and 4 get automatic bids into the Europa League group stage and 3rd round respectively, while the 5th place team enters the final Europa League playoff. In this playoff, the winner of Group A and Group B of the Europa League playoff play each other in a single match before the winner plays the 5th place team to decide who is actually going to the Europa League. In the First Division B, teams play 28 teams, split in between an opening and closing tournament. The winner of each tournament plays each other at the end of the season to see who gets promoted. The bottom 4 teams, after both tournaments, enter a relegation playoff where they play 6 games to determine which single team will be relegated. In the 3rd tier, there's a regular season, then a championship playoff, then a relegation playoff, and you get the idea. 1 team is promoted while the bottom 3 teams are relegated. In the 4th tier, there are 3 promotions and 6 relegations. In the 5th tier, there are 6 promotions and 6 relegations. And the tiers below that, there are a bunch of promotions and relegations. You get the idea. There are 2 cup competitions in Belgium, and I'm sure you can guess what they are. First is the Belgian Cup, also known as the Croaky Cup for sponsorship reasons, your standard knockout competition between teams from the 1st through 8th tiers of Belgian football, which sees the winner qualify for the Europa League. Next is the Super Cup, played at the beginning of every season between the previous year's league winner and the previous year's cup winner. Club Brugge has won the most Belgian Cups with 11 and have also won the most Super Cups with 15. The first league in Belgium started in 1895 with 7 teams playing in a round-robin tournament. Teams and leagues have since been added, and besides 2 stoppages for both world wars, football in Belgium has been going strong ever since. While Belgian teams have been competitive in European competitions, a European trophy hasn't been won in the country since 1988, when KV Mechelen won the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup, which is a competition that has been absorbed into what is now known as the Europa League. They also won the UEFA Super Cup that same year, while RSC Anderlecht has won 2 UEFA Cup Winners' Cups and 1 UEFA Cup in the 70s and 80s. Anderlecht have won the most top-flight titles with 34, followed not so closely by second-place Club Brugge, who has 15, including last year's title. Rules in the Jupiler League state that every team has to have at least 8 homegrown players on a roster, as well as 3 goalies. Ground requirements also state that each stadium must have a capacity of 8,000 and a seating capacity of 5,000. Under-soil heating is also required. Now for me personally, when it comes to Belgium, I think the most exciting part about their league is their inclusiveness and the sheer number of players that they have from other countries. I know everyone says that Cyprus has the highest percentage of foreign-born players, but when it comes to sheer amount of countries represented, I think Belgium takes the cake. To my count, there are 86 countries represented in Belgium right now. This kind of diversity has to be credited to the fact that none of the competitions have restrictions on foreign-born players, and the fact that there are 3 official languages spoken in the country: Dutch, French, and German. There are so many foreign-born players, in fact, that we have to split this list up between European and Asian countries, African countries, and the rest of the world. So first, Europe and Asia. While many players in the league come from Belgium, foreign players in the league come from countries like France, Germany, Luxembourg, Wales, England, Ukraine, Poland, Georgia, Serbia, Croatia, Kosovo, Belarus, the Czech Republic, Montenegro, Macedonia, Slovenia, Austria, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Romania, Albania, Italy, Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Israel, Iran, Armenia, Russia, Thailand, Indonesia, China, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. Next up are the African countries, and fun fact, more than half of the countries in Africa are represented in the Belgian football pyramid. These include countries like Senegal, Gambia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Republic of Congo, Ghana, Mali, Cameroon, Madagascar, the Ivory Coast, Togo, Gabon, Kenya, Angola, Nigeria, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, Algeria, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Djibouti, Zambia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Comoros, and South Africa. And finally, the rest of the world. Players in Belgium also hail from Honduras, Costa Rica, Colombia, Ecuador, the United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, Suriname, Haiti, Curacao, and Jamaica. Some notable players who play in the league include Ruud Vormer, Sven Coombs, Yannick Balazi, Wesley Moraes, Guillermo Ochoa, and this year's top scorer, Moana Samata. For those who can't go to games, games are broadcasted locally on Proximus TV, Play Sports, and VooSport, as well as in 35 other countries around the world. In the US, subscribers of Bleacher Report Live can watch select Jupiler Pro League games every week. For those looking for up-to-date highlights on YouTube, however, you're kind of out of luck. I have yet to find many up-to-date videos of the league from this season, and while the league's official site has highlights, you need a Belgian VPN to watch them, which is easy enough to do, but still not super convenient. Interestingly enough, the league below the Jupiler Pro League, the Proximus League, has its own YouTube channel and tons of up-to-date HD highlights. Very strange. If you know anywhere to watch highlights or live streams of any of the leagues in Belgium, you know what to do. Leave a comment or a link below. Well, that's it for Belgium, and wow, I feel like I just ran a marathon. Thanks for watching. Coming up next is Belize.